Go ahead and get into it, man. What up, world?
I feel like I take it over too many times, man. I want you to get your share. But what's going on, y'all? This is your boy Baloo Eats and Hype Beast Burger with episode 17 of the Between the Buns podcast. Hype Beast just got back home from Atlanta. I know we got episode 16 out. I know we did the Super Bowl episode on a random day, but we were getting this truck going forward, y'all. Hype, how you doing today?
Man, I'm cooling, brother. I'm over here. Got my headband swag going, man. I was rocking a hat all day, man. So I didn't want to give y'all the full exposure of my nappiness, man. But it's a beautiful day in paradise, man. It's heating up here in Florida. I'm loving that. Even though I heard we got some cold weather brewing, which is unfortunate for me, man, because I just did a random thing. I don't know if I talked about this, man, but I just started a vegetable garden, bro.
Oh, nice.
I just started a fruit and vegetable garden in my backyard. I had my 4-year-old come out there and like help me dig up some soil, just kind of put my own concoction, my own blend of soil and fertilizer together. And man, so we're gonna try to grow some strawberries, some lima beans, watermelon. We're gonna try to grow tomatoes. We're gonna try to grow potatoes. We're gonna try to grow what else? Spinach and some parsley, sage, rosemary, some Thai basil. So yeah, man, I'm excited about that, man. But my mind is racing right now because I got to figure out how to make sure these plants survive if it gets colder than 30 degrees coming out here to Florida. So
I feel like we talked about this topic last time about growing stuff in our own yard or having the yard space or something to make things more natural. Because that's
I pulled the trigger.
Good. That's awesome, bro. I'm excited for you and the family to do that. Just want to get this out. Make sure y'all are following us on YouTube, Spotify. Make sure y'all liking, subscribing, hitting that notification bell when new episodes are coming up. We are working on iHeart. We are on Apple Podcasts and on Podchasers. And I want to just celebrate some of the small victories we got going on right now. We have currently 11 subscribers on YouTube. And we have 4 Spotify followers and 36 total all platform plays as of this episode. Got to celebrate the small victories for a small podcast coming out in the world and getting us out there. So over time, this will grow. We look to see this growing. So thank you all for that are tuning in, listening in, tapping in, participating in questionnaires and polls. It's greatly appreciated because this is something that Hype came to me about and going forward. And it took a lot of time, but we're going now. So I'm excited for this. I'm excited that we're getting some growth going right now and staying consistent, even though we're doing this remotely.
No doubt, man. No doubt, for sure. And I'm all for celebrating the small wins. But hey, look at me in my eyes. You people that's tuning in, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their auntie them, to tell their cousin, to tell their little brother, their little sister, all that good stuff, man. Y'all share this with the people, man. Y'all give us new innovative ideas, like topics to touch on, man. We can get really, really granular on this, man. So we want to make sure we're giving y'all what y'all want, man. So we do appreciate the handful of subscribers that we do have and the people that have been attentive to all the content. But we would love it if you would share with some friends. And our wives don't count because I'm sure our wives are 2 of those poor. So
most likely somehow, some way, for sure.
No doubt. But man, much appreciated to everybody that's staying tuned.
And I want to shout out 3 followers that tuned in on the Between the Buns Instagram page. We talked about making changes to possibly lifestyles, being what we consume, whether we're going vegan, vegetarian, low carb, keto. I want to shout out to Orlando Bites. She said that she has done a change before where she went from eating meat to being pescatarian for 2 years and no dairy. I know that's a big challenge, cutting out dairy. I know for me, because I love cheese.
So, cheese is the only kryptonite for me.
That's my cheese. Exactly. That's the one thing I'm like, dang, I don't know if I can do the vegan cheese because the texture, the flavor is completely different.
We're going to do some
shout out to Orlando Bites.
Yeah, shout out.
We got one named Trina Sales. She said yes. Carnivore. That's one of the toughest lifestyles or diets to follow because it sounds simple, but when you look into it and what you got to consume on the daily, that's one of the toughest diets to follow. So I don't know how long you did it, but the fact that you attempted it, salute.
No, that's my homegirl Katrina, man. She's in the supplement industry. She's a beast.
Oh, word.
Tank. She's into fitness, so it aligns with like her discipline and her lifestyle that she already, follows on a day-to-day. So if anybody can do it, it's my homegirl Katrina for sure.
Well, that explains a lot then. So much appreciation and respect to you and the dedication you provide. And then we got the reoccurring, always participating Paige on the poll. She said yes. She tried Factor and the meals are good and filling. I've heard of Factor. I've looked into it. I actually knew some friends that did it. It does look like it focuses on portion control and giving you the right amount of macros to fill you up and get you going throughout the day. So that's whatever helps, right? So thank y'all for tuning in and tapping in. Much respect. And anybody follow them. We got Your Fave Foodie Page, Trina _sales_, and Orlando Bites with a Z. Thank y'all so much.
Appreciate y'all. For sure. For real.
Right.
We wouldn't keep doing this if it wasn't for y'all.
Absolutely. So you came to me with a topic about when we create content and us being foodie content creators and just foodies or you're a burger lover in general. Something that happens is our people wonder, like, how do we get in touch with restaurants? How do we engage with many restaurants for making content? And in some cases, we do get invited by these businesses or we contact a business to collaborate with them. Something that's very big with any content creation is having a collaboration with the business to coordinate some type of business or a type of understanding on what we're here to gather and what we're trying to do. Do you want to touch up on that?
Yeah, man. And
as we get this going.
So when me and you first met or first had any line of communication, man, I was like, look, bro, I'm not a foodie. I'm just literally a burger fan. It's like leaving a burger trail. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you were like, you don't think you're a foodie? And I was like, and it made me question, right? Then I started looking at some of the intricate details and like just the process that goes into it, man, and the overwhelming desire to make good content and create good content, to highlight restaurants, to just put a good display of what a restaurant has to offer. And man, I commend all the real foodies out there that do hell of a jobs. But for me, man, I was thinking like, I really didn't understand like why they had email for collabs in their bio. I didn't know what that meant. You know what I mean? There was a lot of pieces to it that I didn't understand. And then I had the first restaurant reach out to me for an opportunity. And I was like, what am I worth? I don't know what I'm worth. I don't know what I should I charge money? Should I do it for the free ski? Should I, you're going to give me free food? You know what I mean? It was like all these different components. And I was like, earlier on, man, and I'm still like, I'm not too proud to like, I'm a micro influencer at best, right? Me personally. Yeah. So I'm not trying to like tell any business. I'm not trying to fake the funk and say like, I'm just going to generate X amount of eyeballs, you know what I mean? Based off of my insights. Some things are hit and miss, man. I just haven't established that consistency as far as my platform. But, I want to know, like, what's the process, man? Because, like, whenever this restaurant hit me up, I think I messaged you. I DM'd about, like, 5 trustworthy, like, foodies that I value their opinions. And I was like, hey, what do I charge something? What do I do?
Yeah, I remember a little bit of this conversation because it's something very common when people get that first message.
Yeah. I was like, man, I don't know what to say. Yeah, so I really wanted to touch on these topics, man, because I wanted to hear your insight. I think the people that are real foodies, which I think that's the majority of our fan base, maybe some of the up and coming people, they'll see this and be like, oh, this brings me value. So I want you to touch on that, man, and just kind of give us a runway of what your first experience looked like and how you transitioned to where you are now, and how you would maybe counsel other foodies to navigate that whole conversation.
Well, I'm gonna start off by saying, being a micro influencer myself, it's not. I really can't counsel someone on how to on how to work their way with collaborating with the restaurant. But I will say, and you being in the sales industry, it's about building a relationship.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things. And I will say that when it comes to collaborating with businesses, you want to you want to discuss generating what you're trying to do. You want to discuss and have an understanding on what is it that you need from them, and then you want to discuss what they need from you. In most cases, being a micro influencer, you do pay for what you get, but you have the utensils, you use the any materials you need to get what you need to produce the best quality, whether it's a little bit of light, the camera angle, having a way of presenting. But you want to have a clear understanding of what you're trying to do as a micro influencer. When you do reach a certain level of follows, or you have a certain generation of views or engagement, that's where you can say, well, this is what I know I can bring you. I know some influencers that have a great engagement or a lot of followings. They generate enough to where they get the Keith Lee effect, where people are following the business, people are coming into the business, and they get more traction. There's a guy in Orlando here. His name is Jay Jenks 407. He came up on the scene, and he's generated a lot of business for other restaurants that were not doing the best. And I want to shout him out. That's the homie. We haven't met him yet, but we've chopped it up here and there. And
Hey, DM me that page, man. I want to check him out.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely you'll like his content too. But to stay on the topic, you just want to let them know that, hey, I can advertise your business. I don't remember. I can remember one of the first few places that reached out to me. It was an Italian restaurant out in Winter Garden. And I went out there, and they gave me a few list of items, and I didn't do a reaction video, which is what I'm known for, but I just wanted to advertise what they had seasonally. And I wanted to use the natural lighting. I wanted to do a voiceover to talk about it.
I remember that.
And the video did very well.
Fire pizza, right?
What's that?
They had a pizza with. In my head, man, I just had a flashback. That restaurant in particular, I remember you sharing that, and like I remember a pizza involved, like in the
there was. So what I did was I had my oldest son with me at the time. So there was a pizza for kids, but I think there was another pizza. It was like a spicy pepperoni pizza, like a hot pepperoni pizza. So I wanted to advertise the cocktails, the new items, and something for the kids, because I wanted it to be relatable to not just me, but anybody else that's a parent or anybody that's looking for something to appease what their taste buds are looking for. Because that's a big thing when you collaborate with them. You want to find something, you want to do something that people can relate to, and you just want to let the business know, hey, I want to get this out. And something else that you could also do with collaborating is network and say, I know some other people that can provide the same. And they collaborate with other content creators as well. That's something I could say on my end that I've experienced when it comes to collaborating with restaurants, whether I've contacted them or they've contacted me to provide content or gather content to put out there.
Now, let me ask you this. So like when you reach out to them, give me a little blueprint of how that conversation, like what's the landscape of that conversation? Do you say, hey, I'm Baloo Eats, I do food content? Are you reaching out to their guest services email? Are you reaching out to them via social media? Like how is that process, and how do you navigate that conversation before you even get into the fact that they're interested in working with you?
In the past, I've always contacted them through my social media, because that's where they can see my following, they can see my content, because with having a profile, it's like your resume. So versus an email where they're like, hey, I could send anybody an email and I could send them my links, but who knows if they're going to look at it. But if I contact you via DM directly through my page, you see my message, you can easily click on my profile and say, okay, he is a content creator because I see his timeline of what he's done. That's what I've done in the past for collaborations. What I do now is I either let a restaurant contact me or I just go in and do my own thing. And then after I tag a restaurant, then they say, oh, hey, man, I appreciate this. I would love to have you back so you can showcase these items. Or, hey, man, I appreciate it. This is really nice, man. I like doing that because in a world where there's so many content creators, I don't want them thinking I'm coming in to get something free. I don't want them coming in thinking I'm trying to take advantage. So I come in and I also want to get that customer experience. I don't want to come in and sell myself. I want to come in and just get that customer experience, get that genuine experience, and then gather my content, post it, and then see what happens there. And I can talk about a story about that exact situation because it literally happens. It happens like it's crazy. You come in as a regular customer, and granted, it could be great service. You know, it could be great top-notch upfront service. But the second I say I'm a content creator, it's a 180. And it's either they're rolling the red carpet out, they want you to advertise certain things, they want to give you free stuff, or it's, all right, what is it that you want? It's like, bro,
see, and
it can be hit or miss.
That's a great thing to touch on, man, because me personally, I still to this day, and I've never deviated from this script. I go there because I did my recon, I did my research. Yeah. I'm going there regardless. Definitely not looking for free food, especially because I started my page in the peak of COVID. So the only reason why I became so consistent with Hypebeast Burger as a platform on Instagram, a food page, was because of the lack of foot traffic. And I wanted to celebrate and be the champion for these smaller restaurants that were kind of fizzling out, you know? So for me, I was always going to pay. I'm still always going to pay. So like when I have those opportunities where they're like, oh, we'll give you free food or we'll do this. And I'm like, all right, bet, that's cool. I'll collab with you. But the price part, I still have a little trouble negotiating because I just don't know how to quantify, like just, okay, I can do this and do this. Like, to me, a lot of those insights, man, it's all bullshit. That's just my personal opinion.
Because
go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely bullshit because in the day and age where people can buy followings or buy views, it's not authentic. But that's what unfortunately businesses look at. And so once you find that cheat code, you get bumped out of the conversation with your authentic numbers versus bot numbers.
So check this. It was a CPG company. So they had consumer packaged goods. They saw a reel that I posted that went crazy. It went stupid. Like my reels never generate like 50K views and like it was like 1,000 likes. I'm like, sheesh. Like, and it was like it was an edited audio that I created. So I had like some background noise, not really a voiceover, but I'll do like background noise.
ASMR?
So I'll usually like play like some sound bites. Okay. And then I'll loop that with the popular audios, right? And then I just had like a short little reel, man. And this reel like went crazy, went stupid. And this company like DM'd me. And then they were like, oh yeah, we want to pay you X amount to do this. And I was like, oh yeah. I was like, let me check it out. Let me review it. And then they were like, oh yeah, what's your insights? Show us your insights. I just got hip to the insight portion of Instagram. And so like I sent a screenshot of it. They were like, maybe not right now. Like we'll come back to you. And I'm thinking about something like, bitch, I didn't come to you. But like you can scroll down my page and notice that like I don't get 50,000 views on like all my posts. Like that's just unheard of. Me, I was thinking I made it. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't hit my Keith Lee like takeoff moment.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
But that shit was short sailed for sure. But yeah, man.
It's definitely, it can definitely be misleading, and it's definitely a way to scam a business, and that's the unfortunate part because when and this is where I feel like when you show a face and you actually talk about it with your voice and your body, you show the authenticness. Granted, we all have different taste buds, we all like and dislike different things, but people want to know what it's really hitting for. And when you exchange content, sometimes you'll have sometimes you'll have moments where they do want to see your insights. They do want to know your following. They do want to know what your likes are. In some cases, they'll say, "Hey, I want you to post 3 stories, a reel, and a carousel, and we're just going to give you a free meal." And it's like, so you want me to go all the way to your establishment? Who knows where you're coming from, you know?
Yeah.
But you're driving to this establishment and you're getting all this content for free food. And then what if you don't even like it? And you're only getting a limited amount. So it's like you got places that consider your time and effort and work, and they'll give you something. But most places are just like, oh, how about you drive to Whataburger and try a new burger and post a story about it and then a reel and then, oh, name your price, not knowing you got to drive 3 hours to Whataburger.
Yeah.
And then that means back too.
This is the issue that I've come across. And one of the main reasons why I've been a little more reluctant to like showcase like live action footage of me like actually experiencing a burger. Bro, my content is only burgers. It's only burgers. That's all you get from me. That's it. So
but there's nothing wrong with that.
No. I'm not saying there is. Like, this is me and forever gonna be me. I ain't changed for nobody.
Yeah.
But
you just shouldn't.
I've had so many burgers, bro. It could be like a spectacular burger in a city for like a large majority of that actual city. To me, it's still gonna be mid because I've had like phenomenal burgers in like a different city that it knocked my socks off for real, for real. You know what I mean?
But I feel like that's what makes your experience more authentic because you tried so many. So your opinion is more valid than anybody that doesn't eat as many burgers. I was talking to a parent at the bus stop, and he was saying that especially in this day and age where people are posting content and just building these accounts on anything, that you can find an account on anything. And he made an example like you can make a thing about vampire lore and just go dumb stupid on it on your profile. As long as you're consistent, as long as the content is good and you're engaging and you just keep it going, you're going to find that group that goes with that type of lore and that type of topic and get a following off of that. And so there's something for everybody. Yeah, sometimes you say, oh, yeah, be a little more dynamic, be a little more open. But there are people who are just like that, who are just like, hey, bro, I'm all about burgers. That's all I came to see.
Yeah, and
I'm all about pizza. I'm all about ice cream.
I found a lot of those people, man, and like, shout out and blessings to all of those people that are Hypebeast Burger fans, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know who you are for real.
Salute, because my boy be putting in that work.
For sure, bro. Like, I'm glad somebody recognized. But like one thing about it, man, like just giving that expression, I realized like, man, like my first bite, a lot of times I gotta like chop that out and like edit it. Because it's not like your typical foodie where they're just like, wow, or like disgusted. Like I will really like analyze it in my brain. And if I showed you like full footage, like deleted clips, bro, I'm sitting there like, I'm over here like the health inspector from SpongeBob, bro. Like when he
I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But see, I was just telling somebody that I was saying that the point of when you see people eat, their body is gonna tell on them. The biggest tell anything has is body language. And this is gonna be just a general statement here. If you want to catch somebody in a lie, you want to confront somebody, do it in person. Because no matter what is said, the body's gonna tell you the truth. So when you take a bite of something, and you seen that clip of that dude at the fair, and he was trying like some type of crazy corn dog.
It was on the news. It was on the news.
Yeah. And the guy was like, he takes a bite, and then he sees his face immediately like, and it's like, oh, it's good. And he's like, I'm like, nah, dude want to spit that out to save his life.
I think
You
they
know,
trolled him on that. Shout out to that news broadcasting station. I believe they trolled him because all the anchors back at the station,
we're
they knew
laughing.
that they were laughing. And he was like, yeah, so I'm going to keep eating this and you keep this up. And I was like, man, and they were laughing their ass off, man. So I
Yeah,
definitely think they were trolling him. But no, his body language did not lie. And as a communications major, and that's what I graduated with my bachelor's in, bro. So
uh-huh.
like 80% of communication is all nonverbal. Don't even
Yeah.
have to say a word, man. Your
But
body's telling it off.
but
You
see,
couldn't be more correct.
before we close this out, you make a great point that you want to edit enough out because I've had people tell me, there's too much chewing in a lot of these videos and it becomes disgusting. And so it's like you want to show enough to where you take a bite that you're processing it, you're tasting it. But usually, if it's bad, your first bite's going to be, or if it's good, you're going to get that enlightenment because there are people that you see them chewing nonstop. I was editing a video last night. My wife was like, "That's a lot of chewing." I'm like, I know. I'm trying to get enough to where you can see enough on my face, show a change, and then I crop it to
Yeah.
the point where you see me talk about it.
Bro, we need to have these conversations more, actually. That's very insightful. I follow a lot of YouTubers, not a lot, but a couple, and they like venture out, and I like use them as like inspo for like, hey, I'm gonna be in this city. I'm gonna go check this place out. But
Oh yeah,
they'll do food reviews. And one thing that a YouTuber that has blown up, his name is King Shrats. I've been following him for a minute, bro. But like he stays in the Northeast, right? But he was like, man, I get some people that are ASMR mukbang fans, and they want more chewing. And then you have some people that are like, stop all that chewing. I want to hear
tone that down.
more commentary, more talking. But then you have another subgroup that's like, stop talking so much, eat the food, but they don't want to hear the smacking. Like
Mm-hmm.
you'll never be able to please anybody. So
Exactly.
my
Find your niche.
I'm gonna end it with this: follow your niche, follow your heart, follow like what you feel like you can go to sleep at night with and feel comfortable about what you produce, how you create, and what you're into. Let the rest like follow you. And like you said, man, you keep doing it consistently, you'll find your people, man.
Exactly. That's a great way to explain that, and that's a great way to close this episode out. So I got nothing left on my side, y'all. But that was episode 17 of the Between the Buns podcast. Make sure you're following us on YouTube, Spotify, Podchasers, Apple Podcasts. Tune into the Instagram. This is Blue Weed signing out. Hype Beast is signing out. Thank y'all for tuning in. See you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.